All right, so you know that you might have a problem with your digital devices if you cannot set them down. That is probably the majority of us because they are created to help us to become addicted to them, which is lovely. If you have nailed this aspect of your life and you are in full, complete control of your electronics, leave a comment down below because maybe you have something that we can learn from. So today's video, I want to talk about simple changes that you can make for a digital detox. These aren't just like going black and white. So this is like something where you're trying to tread in between having your devices, because some of us actually have to have them, versus just cutting them out altogether, turning off the Wi-Fi, moving up to a remote place where there's no people. Although that is tempting, it is unrealistic for a lot of us. Okay, so number one, I've got 4 tips for you, or 4 steps. So number one for that digital detox and changes, just very basic changes you can make. Number one, to acknowledge that you have a problem. For so many years, I have run away from the fact that I like my devices. I like scrolling. I like how happy my brain feels, especially if I have ice cream or a treat or chocolate or something. Like, it has become a routine to me. So I wrote that off as self-care for years and years and years. So number one, acknowledge that you have a problem. Just go out and say it, even if it's just to yourself. Yes, I am Christine and I like to scroll probably way too much, more than I should. That is huge, of like steps that you could take going forward once you acknowledge it. Because if you dance around it and you accept it, then you don't see the problem to it. All right, so that's number one. Number two, this is really hard and really powerful. And one, I'll tell you a brief story, something that I'm trying to overcome in my own life right now, is to realize what it's taking away from. So like you scrolling or checking out or watching Netflix in bed or whatever it is that you do with your devices, I want you to realize what it's taken away from, because even if it's a silent decision, is a decision. When you say yes to that, you're saying no to something else. So what is it that you're saying no to? Is it time with your children, date night with your spouse, time for self-care? Like, what would you be doing if you set your devices down? That is what being addicted to your devices is taking away from. All right, so realize what it's taken away from. For me, it takes away quality time with my children. It does take away self-care and caring for my body and my mind and my heart. There's just so many things. The cost of being glued to electronics is high. And not only is it that cost, but it's also showing your family members, your kids, that, hey, mom is doing it. So it is okay to be on your devices 24/7. Okay. Number 3, simple steps you can take. Set clear boundaries. I know this is easier said than done. So you're going to have to set boundaries that are appropriate for you, and maybe set the bar low so that you can achieve that, because once you achieve it, then you can move that bar a little bit higher every time with your goal. And so for me, it's like no devices in my bedroom at all. None. Because I will just tuck the kids into bed, take my phone into my room and scroll till 11 at night, 11:30 at night. And then I wake up tired, reaching for my coffee because I stayed up on my devices too long. Not to mention it does bad things for your brain. I tell my kids this and they laugh at me. I'm like, the light that your electronics emit, it tells your brain to stay awake. And it is not releasing the sleep hormone. Anyway, somebody back me up on that. They think I'm delusional and crazy, but it's true. So set clear boundaries, whatever that looks like. I know that there is like, it's called a getaway cabin. I don't know if you guys have heard of those. They're called something else now, postcard cabins or something. Anyway, you go to this place and you stay in this tiny house and they have a box that you put your phone in, and you don't open that box until you need your phone, until you're leaving or whatever. So it's a way for you to disconnect. So whatever your boundaries look like, maybe create your own box, and that is where your phone goes in. And when the phone is in that box, you don't touch it. Maybe you have, a set time of day where you check social media. Maybe it's only in the morning, or it's in the morning and in the afternoon. Or for me, my YouTube channel, I'm trying to only check comments and post videos on my lunch breaks, and that's it. That's it. So if it takes me a little bit to respond to you, that is why, because I'm trying to set a really clear boundary. And so, your boundaries could be anything. Everybody has a different life. But okay, number 3, set clear boundaries. Number 4, this is how it's going to work, is you ask someone to hold you accountable. So you've acknowledged the problem, you've realized what it's taken away from, you've set clear boundaries, but without this 4th step, you could set yourself up for failure so easy. So I want you to ask someone to hold you accountable. For me, it's my little 11-year-old. She is the one that it's her and I. Her sisters are big and have lives, and her and I are the ones that are together the most. So what it's taken away from if I pick up my phone is quality time with her. And so I asked her, I said, hey, when mom is on her phone too much, or if I'm checking my YouTube channel or I'm doing all these things, would you let me know? Because I really need to have boundaries around these things, and I need someone to hold me accountable. Now, your accountability buddy could be a best friend. I also have a small group that holds me accountable. So there's things that you can do, and pick somebody who will be like, just give it as a straight shooter. We'll just give it to you straight. My little kiddo, she's gonna give it to me straight because she wants her mom. So that is just a good example of having an accountability buddy. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your mama, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's a group of people. It is okay. Just pick someone that you can verbally. There's also something so healing when you acknowledge out loud that you have a problem to somebody else, right? It exposes it. Not that our habits are truly, truly dark, unless it depends what we're doing with those habits. But I mean, it brings it into the light of like, okay, I'm struggling with this. I need you to know, I need you to hold me accountable. Even if they laugh and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. Well, it is to you, because it's taking away from the things that are important to you and what you value most. So hopefully this helps with the digital detox. Just simple changes that you can make and implement starting today. If you're going to do this, leave me a comment, let me know. Maybe, the comment section is your verbal, like, okay, this is where my problem is. This is what I want to do with it. And, we'll be your accountability buddy. So anyway, that is that. If you have goals that you want to achieve, especially with a new year coming up, I love New Year's, it's a fresh start. Be sure to check out all my tools linked in the description box, everything from creating a weekly routine to setting up a budget to, just slowing down and living a life that is peaceful. I have all those tools down below in the description box. That's it. Have a great day. I will see you in the next video. Mwah.